A community in shock and mourning after police say a teenage boy is suspected of shooting 5 people, killing a woman and 3 children. How this community is coping tonight.
A teenager killed after being carried by an avalanche in Davis County.
It took about 20 minutes. Our search and rescue personnel said he was about 15 feet under the snow.
Rescue crews tell us what happened and have a warning for those exploring the outdoors.
And the TSA stepping in when it comes to protecting passengers before they take the skies.
It's our job to find the gun, and it's our job to make sure it doesn't get onto an aircraft.
A spike in firearm seizures at checkpoints. How many guns were discovered at Salt Lake City International Airport last year?
A dry start to this holiday weekend. Find out if it's going to stay that way coming up.
Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
We're learning new information after a shooting in Grantsville killed 4 people. Tonight, one other person who was shot is still in the hospital.
Police arrested a teenage boy after a woman and 3 children were found dead at their home off of Main Street in Eastmore. Fox 13's Sydney Glenn spoke with some close to the family.
This tragedy has truly rocked this tight-knit community, from the police officers to the people who live in that neighborhood. The crime scene tape is gone, resorting a sense of normalcy in this Grantsville neighborhood. That is, until you knock on one of the neighbors' door.
There have been a lot of tears shed on our street.
Shock and devastation as people try to piece together what happened here Friday night.
It's just really, really tough for everybody.
Grantsville police believe a teenage boy used a handgun to shoot 5 people he lived with. A woman and 3 children died. A man was taken to the hospital. It's the deadliest shooting in the city of Grantsville's history.
We are a very small community. We're a tight-knit community. Most everyone knows everyone. The scope of this incident is something that this community has not seen in a number of years.
Police believe the victim that survived came to the home after the initial shooting took place. Someone unrelated to the shooting showed up and was asked to take the suspect and victim to the hospital. That's when the first and only call to 911 was made. The suspect was taken into custody, but police say he isn't giving them any information.
While he refused to speak with us, he did not give officers any problems.
As police continue to try to figure out what happened, so do the people who knew the ones inside that home.
They were a very nice family, and hug your relatives. Yep.
The names of the victims are expected to be released on Monday after the autopsies are performed. In Grantsville, Sydney Glenn, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Many local leaders have been reacting to that tragedy, including Governor Gary Herbert, who has been receiving some criticism over his response to the incident. Last night, he tweeted, "Our hearts are broken by the horrible news coming out of Grantsville tonight. We mourn over the loss of innocent lives." He went on to say, "Parents and grandparents, secure your firearms. Everyone, hug your loved ones tight, and remember, love, not hate, will heal broken individuals and families." One Twitter user called this response, quote, "victim blaming," and others expressed the need for tougher gun laws.
We received this statement from a local stake leader with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, saying in part, quote, "There are no words to describe our heartbreak and grief. We are devastated and so deeply saddened by what has occurred. We love this family and will support them and the rest of our small community as we mourn together." The Tooele County School District also sending out a tweet expressing their sincere condolences to the family. They say the district's crisis team will be available to provide counseling services in the Grantsville area as well as in schools throughout the district on Tuesday after the MLK holiday. We're continuing to track this case as it develops throughout the weekend. Stay with us, both here on the air and on social media, also on our website. That's fox13now.com for the latest updates as we learn them.
Tonight, an 18-year-old who was caught in an avalanche this afternoon has since died.
The Davis County Sheriff's Office says the teen boy and his father were snowmobiling in Farmington Canyon around 1:45 this afternoon when the avalanche triggered. Deputies say the teen's beacon and avalanche backpack failed to deploy. After 20 minutes, search and rescue crews rescued him from about 15 feet of snow, but the man was not breathing. He was flown to a hospital where he passed away.
He was wearing all the proper safety gear, and even with that, they were in an area that was just so dangerous that he ended up getting caught in an avalanche. So, be take all the precautions you can, wear all the equipment, give yourself the best chance to survive something like this.
The Utah Avalanche Center will go back to that area tomorrow to survey it. Meanwhile, deputies say the teen's identity will not be released until tomorrow at the earliest.
A missing man was found dead in Eagle Mountain today. Christopher Craig Zollner was reported missing January 10th. According to Sergeant Spencer Cannon with the Utah County Sheriff's Office, Zollner's body was found in 5 Mile Pass in central Utah. The cause of death still under investigation, but authorities do not suspect foul play.
The city of Sandy honoring a fallen civil servant today. Police Chief William O'Neill was laid to rest. Friends, family, and police officers from around the state gathering to pay tribute. Chief O'Neill served as a police officer in Sandy for 23 years. Sergeant Jason Nilsson says the chief leaves behind a large presence.
The Utah Jazz community saying goodbye to one of the faces of the Utah Jazz's Five for the Fight campaign. Wyatt Page passed away earlier this week after a 2-year battle with brain cancer. Funeral services were held today in Eagle Mountain. Earlier this week, the Jazz tweeting this picture along with the message, "We're honored to have Wyatt as a Jazz man forever."
In political news, Mike Bloomberg made a stop here in Salt Lake City today.
I came here for Jell-O and I hadn't gotten any.
Starting off with some Utah humor, the Democratic presidential candidate stood in front of hundreds of people packed into the Impact Hub in downtown Salt Lake City. Bloomberg spoke about climate change and gun control and the vision he has for our country, saying we can do better than what President Trump is doing.
I think I know how to defeat Donald Trump. If you look, he's starting to tweet every day about me. That's not because he thinks I'll be a pushover. It's because he's worried.
Bloomberg also applauded the people of Utah for adding their names to the referendum that could overturn recent changes to the state's tax laws. The former New York City mayor also met with some community leaders here during his stop.
Scratch one name off the list of rumored Republican gubernatorial candidates. Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes announced he will run for re-election for his current job. He's been floated as a possible contender for the Republican nomination for governor. In a statement, Reyes says he is flattered, but ultimately decided to stay in his current post.
Taking a look at weather now, Doug Iverson in the Weather Center. And Doug, it seems like Mother Nature is kind of giving us a little bit of a break for the 3-day weekend, right?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely seemed right there. In fact, what a break. We'll take this break. After yesterday, looking pretty good temperature-wise. We're a little warmer. 42 for a high at Salt Lake City. That is above average for this time of year. Vernal at around 29 degrees. 51 down in St. George. We topped out at 42 in Cedar City. It looks like Milford had a high of 45. Right now, Milford already making a run for a very cold night, 24 degrees there. We're already 12 up in Logan, Vernal 9. We have a clear sky above, so that's allowing the temperatures to drop off. Currently in Salt Lake, it's 28 degrees. Your forecast tonight will end up with a low of 21. That's slightly colder than it was last night with a mostly clear sky, but we'll try to make up for that, though, during the daytime tomorrow. And the day after that, we're still going into a 3-day weekend that looks really good weather-wise. We'll talk more about that in detail coming up.
Thank you, Doug. Still to come, a spike in guns being seized at Salt Lake City International Airport. The costly mistake of putting your firearm in your carry-on luggage.
And hundreds of women marching in Utah joining a national day of action. Hear about the changes they're demanding.
Fox 13 is your first alert source for weather.
We're taking it out to Scott McCain and the Weather Beast.
First with Utah's only all-local morning news.
A foot or two of snow in the northern mountains.
And first in the evening with our primetime news at 9.
Let's go to Fox 13's Kristen Van Dyke.
Fox 13's first alert weather. Let's connect.
911, what's your emergency?
Fall back! 911 Lone Star premieres Sunday after the game on Fox.
Behind the wheel of a Ford, we take on every tough job, any rough terrain, and no matter what comes our way, we keep on trucking. Yeah, we're tougher out here, and there's only one brand of truck built to keep up. Get a built Ford Tough F-150 with $7,000 cash back or 0% financing for 72 months or $4,000 cash back on Ranger.
For 35 years, Bathfitter makes it easy to remodel your bath or shower.
Hi, I'm Bill Booman.
And I'm Rick Booman from Bathfitter. From your free in-home consultation to your installation, we're with you every step of the way, all backed by our lifetime warranty.
Bathfitter's exclusive seamless wall surround gives you the look of tile, slate, or marble. You'll love the result.
Save time and money with Bathfitter.
From Logan to St. George, we serve all of Utah. Call now and receive up to $450 off or 18 months no interest. It's better with Bathfitter.
This is the Chevy Silverado with the world's first invisible trailer.
Invisible trailer?
Hop in. Silverado offers an optional technology package with up to 15 different views, including one enhanced view that makes your trailer appear invisible. Wow, that's pretty sweet. That's cool.
Where's the trailer though?
Or current competitive owners get a total value of $8,250 on this Silverado without optional tech package or enhanced invisible view. Plus, eligible GM card members get $1,000 in bonus earnings.
I could feel my vision just started to close in.
Savannah Guthrie on the accident that almost took her sight.
Monday at 2 on Fox 13. Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
It's considered breaking the rules and could be a costly mistake. Traveling with a firearm through the TSA checkpoint at the airport is a big no-no. The Transportation Security Administration says their officers caught more firearms at checkpoints nationwide in 2019 than ever before in the agency's 18-year history. So we wanted to know how many were seized at Salt Lake City International Airport, and did it go hand in hand with the increase in travelers nationwide?
It's our job to find the gun, and it's our job to make sure it doesn't get onto an aircraft.
TSA agents discovered 4,432 firearms at 278 airport checkpoints nationwide in 2019. It's nearly a 5% increase from the year before.
You know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, we were seeing an increase in the number of firearms, and then it really leveled out. So to have this in 2019, this spike is somewhat concerning.
They attribute the increase to the record number of travelers through some of the nation's biggest airports. Salt Lake City International didn't crack the top 10 list for the most firearms seized, but it did see a substantial increase. From 2018 to 2019, 12 more firearms were discovered by TSA agents. The number of 85 ranks SLC with the 11th most gun seizures in the country.
There's really no excuse for people to bring firearms in their carry-on luggage. These numbers are a reminder of that.
Some say perhaps a more concerning number, the amount of loaded guns being brought into the airports. 87% of firearms detected at checkpoints in 2019 were loaded. Most of them with a bullet in the chamber.
The further away we get from the events of 9/11, people become a little bit more lax in paying attention to what they're bringing in their bags. But that's really not an excuse. The rules aren't new. They've been in place for many, many years.
Local law enforcement physically are the ones that would remove the gun from a checkpoint area, but it is TSA that can levy a penalty against you. Those fines start around $2,000, can hike all the way up to nearly 10 grand. With that said, TSA wants to remind you that you can travel legally with your firearm. For a step-by-step way to do that, you can head to our website, fox13now.com.
Today in Salt Lake City, hundreds of women not only marched for women's rights, but also to call for an end to violence against women.
Love trumps hate! Love trumps hate! Love trumps hate!
Activists from all different races, backgrounds, and walks of life marched from Washington Square Park to the Capitol building, all to raise awareness for their cause. A vocal part of this group was from the local chapter of Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women.
The Four Corners area in general has a higher concentration of women going missing and murdered. And so it's important that we come together as women to represent the diversity of women in this area, localized in Utah.
Representative Angela Romero is sponsoring a bill on Capitol Hill that's gathering bipartisan support right now that would create and fund a task force dedicated to addressing missing and murdered Indigenous women's issues.
Today marked the kickoff of several events happening this year celebrating the 80th anniversary of Hill Air Force Base. People came out to the Hill Aerospace Museum to recognize the rich heritage of the base. The legendary Candy Bomber, Colonel Gail Halverson, former Vietnam POW Jay Hess, and Colonel James Sullivan, who holds the world absolute speed record for a pilot flying an SR-71, were all guest speakers at today's event.
Our mission at the museum is to tell about the history of Hill Air Force Base and all that the men and women here have done. Whether it's fixing weapon systems, operating them, or supplying them, that's the primary purpose of this museum, is to talk about this installation, the contributions it's made locally and to our nation's defense.
There are more events scheduled later this year honoring the 80th anniversary of Hill Air Force Base, like Warriors Over the Wasatch Air Show and Open Aircraft Day.
Some of the latest innovations coming to the auto industry are on full display in Sandy this weekend. The Utah International Auto Expo is underway at the Mountain America Expo Center, and it runs through Monday. They have hundreds of cars, trucks, and SUVs for you to check out and even get inside to figure out if you like it or not. Fox 13 is a proud partner of the Utah International Auto Expo.
A southern Utah company making a name for itself at one of the nation's biggest agricultural shows. Montana's The Maggie is a highly awaited opportunity to learn about the newest agricultural tech. This week, attendees can say one piece of equipment made in Cedar City is revolutionizing the hay industry across the globe.
This is the only machine in the world that exists like this.
Cedar City's Stahaley West's new hay steamer moistens and softens hay the way natural dew does, which increases baling efficiency by more than 4 times.
Interesting.
That's all you got. I'm not a farmer, so I actually don't know much about
I just didn't even think that you'd have to make stuff dewy, and waking up and having the grass dewy seems like a far distant world.
You know, I've heard a lot of
Here
talk
in
from
January.
farmers, and anything that it takes to make it easier to bale hay, they will do, because it is tough work out there, definitely tough. Well, we're going to go sightseeing right now. We're going to look across northern Utah, the Great Salt Lake, and what do we see? Antelope Island and some feathers in the sky. Cirrus-type clouds, beautiful sight here. Carol Sorensen emailed this one into the Fox 13 newsroom. Nicely done. No wonder she wanted to show it off. That was today. Got some sunshine out there, lots of blue sky. We're going to keep that coming. If you have a viewer or weather photo you'd like to show off, you can email it. Of course, you can post it to social media, and we'll put it on the news for you. We love doing that. There's a lot of beauty here in the Beehive State to go around for everyone. 28 degrees right now in Salt Lake City. Mostly clear, light breeze out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Visibility is really good out there. It is getting a bit on the hazy side, and of course, high pressure building in. We're at 40 and clear in St. George. Things setting up for a much nicer one this evening than what we had yesterday evening. Now, a lot of clouds over southern Utah right now. Looks like the southeast corner seeing some clearing. Definitely clear sky over northern Utah. So this is kind of the story. We're going to clear up even more tomorrow as high pressure builds in towards the southwest. And that high pressure system is going to push all the storms away. We'll stay dry at least for the next 2 to 3 days. Oh, we do have a storm or two in the 7-day forecast, but we got a break before the next one moves in. Logan tonight all the way down to 7. Not too far from that right now with temperatures in the lower teens. We're in the lower teens right now in Evanston. 9 in Park City for a low temperature. 15 in Vernal. We're down to 12 tonight in Price. Most places will be a little bit colder than last night. 20 in Wendover. Elko, a little colder than you were last night, so bundle up, right? Electric blanket time. Then tomorrow, shed that electric blanket, get out and enjoy the sunshine. You'll hit a high of 40. We'll hit 40 in Salt Lake City, almost 40 in Provo, 47 in Milford. Dry statewide, no snow, and hardly any wind to speak of. It was nice to get that break today. Air quality with the high pressure building in, you know the routine. The inversion tries to rear its ugly head, and we got moderate air quality in the Salt Lake County area. But for the counties around us, we're still in the green. Northeastern corner of Utah, Uinta, Duchesne County, moderate air quality there. The inversion's been pretty strong, and it's going to strengthen at least for the next couple of days. Now, for the next 7 days for southern Utah, gorgeous weather, highs in the upper 50s midweek, and look at that, a pair of 60s. One going to Friday, one going to Saturday. That's setting up to be a beautiful weekend. Northern Utah 7-day forecast. Lots of sunshine. Of course, we got the holiday weekend coming up. Well, we're here. We're right in the middle of it. What am I saying? Martin Luther King Day on Monday, mostly sunny and 43. We go back to work at school on Monday, and that's when we could see a storm Tuesday night. There's a threat of snow for northern Utah. It's looking like Wednesday would be the better chance to get it snowed on, and dare I say it would be Wednesday morning just in time for the morning commute. We'll get a little colder after that, and temperatures will try to work their way back up into next weekend.
But next Friday and Saturday, double northern Utah's in St. George. 60, we're 30, they're like 60s.
That's right, yeah.
Time to get to southern Utah.
Now's the time to go, definitely.
Pre-planning, yes, pre-planning with your long-term forecast. It's perfect.
Exactly.
We're doing here for you.
Awesome, thanks, Doug. Still to come, local artists coming together for a good cause. We'll show you this special exhibit that's traveling through Intermountain Healthcare hospitals next month.
And the wife of the late mayor of North Ogden has a new job. We'll explain what's next for Jenny Taylor.
The Utah Auto Show is here, and the deals are going strong during Toyota's Auto Show sales event, happening now at your Utah Toyota dealer. Take advantage of deals on a special shipment of Auto Show vehicles, like $1,250 cash back on Tacoma, or lease 4Runner for just $369 per month. Plus, all new Toyotas come with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Hurry, these deals won't last long. Toyota, let's go places.
At Papa Murphy's, we've got high-class pizza for a low price. Right now, the Chicken Bacon Artichoke Pizza is just $8. Pick one up today for just $8 and enjoy a slice of the good life. We make it, you bake it, Papa Murphy's.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Smith's, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
On January 17th, the lights turn on at the Mountain America Exposition Center. And it's your opportunity to see all the new cars, new trucks, SUVs, exotics, and high-end luxury vehicles all in one place at one time. The Utah International Auto Expo, the 17th through the 20th. Discounts available at utahautoexpo.com.
Come into Arctic Circle and get a famous Arctic Circle double cheeseburger combo for just $3.99. As always, made with 100% Black Angus beef. This is a limited time offer, so come in today. Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is.
The rule of three states, things that come in threes are inherently more appealing than those that don't. We couldn't agree more. Three SUVs, one GMC.
Current eligible non-GM lessees get this low-mileage lease on this all-wheel drive Terrain SLE for around $269 per month. We are professional grade GMC.
Introducing the Fox 13 Weather Beast, the go-anywhere, track-any-storm superstar. It doesn't just forecast the weather, it takes you there. The Fox 13 Weather Beast, powered by Nissan. You're watching Fox 13 News. Let's connect.
February is National Heart Awareness Month. To help raise awareness of heart disease, Intermountain Medical Center unveiled a new art exhibit that will travel through IHC hospitals all next month. Fox 13's Lauren Steinbrecher shows us.
5 local artists.
Heart disease is really close to me and my family.
Donated their time, talents, and art to a brand new exhibit at Intermountain Medical Center.
And my grandmother actually struggled with heart disease her entire life and passed away from a heart attack.
Their art will travel through Intermountain hospitals throughout February, highlighting heart disease in women.
My piece discusses how heart disease is part of every single one of us, and it's embedded in every single one of us, and it will affect every single one of us.
And raising awareness about this deadly disease.
But to this day, many women don't know their risk, and the reality is that 1 in 3 women will die of heart disease.
Intermountain Healthcare and the American Heart Association hope this traveling art installation will encourage women to take action.
Heart disease remains the leading cause of death in this country, and so we all need to do what we can as clinicians, as the public, and advocacy to increase awareness so people know what their risk factors are, what their symptoms are, and how to seek care so that they can mitigate their risk.
Doctors say it's important for women to learn their numbers, know your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and know your blood sugar. They also say living a healthy lifestyle and keeping your weight in a healthy range are all ways to reduce your risk of heart disease. Lauren Steinbrecher, Fox 13 News, Utah.
The art pieces will eventually be auctioned off, and some of those proceeds will go back to the American Heart Association's continued research for women with heart disease.
The widow of Major Brent Taylor carries out his patriotic legacy in a new role. This week, Jenny Taylor was sworn in at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. Fox 13's Katia Collins has the story.
Was far from an ordinary day in the life of Mrs. Jenny Taylor. It was a special day.
I hung up the phone and kind of burst into tears, like I don't know what else is going to be asked of me and my family.
Jenny walked in the Pentagon doors, unsure and anxious for what was to come.
To walk around, to meet several generals, to be inside the Pentagon, living in a history book.
To come out with a promise to defend the Constitution of the United States as Utah's civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army.
The gentleman who held the position was retiring. My name had come up as a possible replacement. I thought there is no way I can do this. I don't even know what it is.
Jenny Taylor's husband, Major Brent Taylor, was killed in Afghanistan on November 3rd of 2018. And while she will forever carry out his legacy, she created a new one for herself.
I hope he's proud of me. I know he's rooting me on and opening doors for me that aren't self-serving in any way, but that can help continue our family's service to our country. And I am 100% relying on his influence and his memory and his impact on my life, along with God, to even make this possible. I'm dedicated, I'm committed. I'll admit I'm overwhelmed and I feel like I'm underqualified, but I'm not undercommitted. You know, Brent has dozens of these. He's gotten all kinds of military awards and commendations. It's the first one of my own.
But she says one thing is for sure. She couldn't do it without Brent and her children.
I think he's probably smiling pretty big and also saying, Jenny, be careful, don't run faster than you have strength.
Jenny Taylor's job description is to provide advice and support to Army leadership and service members. She will still be living in Utah and head back to Washington, D.C. at the end of February for the CASA National Training Conference. In studio, Katia Collins, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Still to come, a winter weather wallop from coast to coast. We'll look at the winter storms impacting much of our country.
And we've heard that your body temperature is 98.6 degrees for decades, but is that really supposed to be true? What a new study is revealing.
The guacamole double cheeseburger from Carl's Jr. is back for only $299.
It's $2.99.